Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing fantastic. This is the Tipsy subscription box after party, or after hours.
After hours. I like
after hours. That's right. So, since my buddy's here and we're just kind of shooting the bull, just talking, I thought I'd get his opinion and thoughts on a couple interesting things. And one of the things that I want him to look at, and I didn't let him take a peek at this before, so this is going to be a raw reaction to this knife. This is the, hang on, this is the ShivWorks. Okay, I can't remember what this knife was called, but when we get into it, I just want to get your opinion. And when he opens it, then we'll talk about it, okay? So take this, be careful with it. Be careful with it, but give me your opinion on that. Now, when I got this knife and I reacted to it, it was,
just pull out.
It comes straight out. It's a weird knife. It's a very, very weird knife. I didn't understand it, and a lot of you guys in the comment section, told me that you gave me your insight into it, and I just wanted to get his thoughts on it, because I, for the longest time, did not know that it was a reverse blade. Now, what do you think about it? I mean, I didn't have my glasses on when I was looking at it, so I got an excuse. I'm sitting here messing with it, and I'm like, man, that's a weird blade profile. Then I was like, man, it's blunt.
And sure.
Then I'm like, wow.
It's not sharp at all.
Yeah. Then I was like, oh, the sharp part's on the top. Very weird. Now here's the thing. Okay, let me show you what people told me about. Okay. Yeah. Now, this was what was described to me by you guys in the comment section. Now, this is the ShivWorks. I can't remember what this little guy was called. There's nothing printed on the box other than made in China. Oh, it's the Clinch Pick 2.0. Okay. Okay, what you guys describe this as is a knife that you're going to wear, right, on your side, so that, let's just say, danger caught you slipping and you get close to me, but I'm able to get my hand right here and to pull this knife out, and if you trap my arm, I can just pull straight up and I can get into you. But my kind of thought process of that is, well, if I can get right here with a blade, yeah, I can just start doing this, start jerking my body this way, and I can start stabbing you. So to me, that I didn't understand the premise. Like, even still, I get what you can do with it. And the bad thing is, this is what I will say about this. I love holding it. Like, holding it, it's like, if this knife was normal, like if the sharp end was on the bottom, yeah, to me, this would be a really cool knife.
Well, see, that's what I was going to say. This is going to be something that you're going to have to train with, because just like you just did, your thumb.
I wanted to put my thumb on and I would have I would have sliced my thumb.
I think, as you can see right there, this is where the blade starts, and he already had his thumb going here. Yeah. So you would have to practice with this to know what you're doing. Yeah, to not go into that pre-trained kind of way you get a grip on the knife. And then we both everyday carry knives and everything, so it's ingrained in your and I minds. So when you grab the knife, your thumb starts going here like it's supposed to. So I don't have enough mental capacity at my old age to be able to train and remember, hey, this one knife that I may have on me doesn't need to have my thumb there. So, I mean, it's unusual and it sounds like it has a purpose, but for that one thing, I think I'm still going to try to grab my
Okay, hang on a second. I got something better for you. Tell me what you think about this. Now, this... And I pulled this out in the video where I talked about this particular blade from ShivWorks, because this was kind of my counter to this, having something for self-defense. This, you can put this on your keychain, all right? Now, say I'm going to get accosted while I'm going to my car, because that's when, generally when you're out and about, that's when you're the most vulnerable, right? Sure. Because your assessment of your surroundings, because now when you get close to your car, you're kind of focused on getting in your car. You're not getting to your door, your car, and then looking around and looking to be attacked or whatever. But was this little guy right here. And the reason is because you're going to have your keys. Well, if you got your keys and someone wraps me up, right, all I got to do is get a finger right here and pull this little thing out. Now, tell me how cool that is. Now, with that, because it's locked inside your finger, it's not in your grip. You are physically wrapping your finger in there and then closing your grip on it. So the only way I'm getting that knife from you is by getting it out from around your finger, not just knocking it out of your hand. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's...
And you could do a lot of damage with that bad boy. I mean, think about it. If someone's real close to you, man, you could jab them with it. You could do a lot of stuff I wouldn't want to have done to me. How about that?
Yeah, I'd definitely take this over that. If that's the purpose, if we're just talking about self-defense type things, or in that one up close, hopefully not getting wrapped up scenario that we're talking about, yeah, I think I'd rather have that.
Well, here's also the counterpoint to this thing is how many times, okay, like this knife, the Shivworks knife, okay, with that sharp edge on top, what other function is that knife going to provide to you? Not just, if I get accosted, the one scenario that I'm going to be pulling up and messing somebody up. I don't.
It's a SOG, by the way. Yeah, that's not bad. I like that.
See, I like that.
I'd take this over that for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good knife. Okay, so the whole reason why we're doing this little after show is because I'm about to get into rebuilding my kit. This is where I struggle. I don't know if you want to call it a get home bag, get away bag, bug out bag, bug in bag, just get me from my car to my house bag, whatever. But a lot of people,
they're all individual bags, so you have to have all 8 of those.
No. I can't do that. No, it's all one bag.
All right, fair enough.
But for me, and this was one of the things that I told you guys before, when I think about these bags that all these preppers make, it's situational. It's going to come down to you and your environment. It could be dictated almost by something as simple as how far do you work from where you live. Because at the end of the day, this whole notion that you are going to trek away with just a pack on your back and you're going to survive with just one bag, to me, it's a little bit cynical, because not everybody has had SEER training. Not everybody is a seasoned, combat veteran. Not everybody is a survivalist. So this notion of this bag that's going to be the end-all be-all for your survival when the zombies come is, to me, ridiculous. But what purpose does the bag serve? Well, it serves the purpose of getting me from work to my home. And the only reason why I say that is because the majority of your day, of your weekday, is spent at work. You spend more hours at work than anywhere else, waking hours. So that's a good place to start, right? Is to say, okay, I need to get from work to home. Now, obviously, it's ain't a big deal. If you work from home, you don't need a bag, right? You don't need a bag. It's completely irrelevant. So when you think about provisioning a bag, do you think, have you ever seen, because for you guys that don't know, this gentleman here rescues people that are stranded in our river systems, and he does interdiction like in the Gulf and all that kind of stuff for the Coast Guard, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you have a more intimate understanding of these types of situations that people can get themselves into and not be prepared.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what happens when we do have some cataclysmic, altering event that shuts down municipal services? Well, that person that you're going to call to come rescue is not going to be there. That service that you're going to depend on is not going to be there. And that's really the whole purpose of the prepper mentality and having these bags. These bags basically take the place of that phone call of who you're going to make to come help you. So when you talk about provisioning said bag, have you, in your capacity, ever come across a bag that you can just go buy from a store that you've ever had any exposure to, that you thought, hey man, this is a good bag for the money?
So my second job that I used to have, which I don't work there anymore, I used to work at Sportsman's Warehouse, and I've seen stuff that's...
You don't work there no more?
No, I quit. I tore up my shoulder, and I had to quit. Okay. So yeah, it was one of those things. I've seen bags like that, and I'm going to reference your point. They're all situational to who you are and what your situation is,
and your experience level.
Your experience level. And this would be, here's the one thing that I would tell all of your subscribers is this. All of you people who think you're going to get an all-inclusive bag that you're going to be able to take that backpack and put on and go start your life somewhere new. My question is, have you ever went camping, hiking with that bag? Because I did it once in my life. I got too big for my britches. I'm not, I'm man enough to admit it. I got way too big for my britches. I had a really big bag. I kept seeing, I was like, I can do what these 20, 18-year-old guys are doing in the Army and the Marines. I can do that. It's no problem. Yeah. So I threw on this backpack somewhere in the vicinity of 75, 80 pounds. And we went to Georgia and went hiking. And we were planning on spending 3 days there. Now, it's Georgia, and it's in the mountains. So we were trekking up some pretty steep inclines.
Yeah, you're in the mountains.
Yeah. So it was, I was shedding things out of my bag left and right. It was like anything that I could, like roll of duct tape. I don't know if you're supposed to burn duct tape or not, but whenever we had the fire going, I burned a roll of duct tape. Duct tape's heavy, especially when you have that thick roll. Yeah. So I was shedding stuff. Yeah. So try that if y'all are thinking like, see if you're too big for your britches. Go for a hike. Spend a couple days in the woods with just that pack and see what you do. You'll shed, which is, I know we all seen the show Preppers. Yeah. We've all watched that, and they kind of, they always gauge it. But I think the one thing that goes common in that is they're always saying you can't have that one for all. Yeah. Wherever you're going to be, you need to be littered with what you're going to have to get there. So that goes back to your point. I just need a bag to get me from my job to the house, and then I can reassess. So the all-inclusive bags you see in stores or offered online, you're going to adjust them. That's all that it is. You're going to change some things out because, hey, I don't need this. I need this instead. So it's always going to be like that. And I think that's just something for people to keep in mind.
Yeah, and this notion, because, I'm a dirty civilian, and I have, tons of friends that are veterans. He's one of them. And I do have a lot of combat vet friends. And it's funny because when we train at our range, the guys, they'll pick fun, because I just don't know. Because, these are guys that went in Afghanistan or wherever they were deployed at. And, they were wearing plates. And, a lot of them guys tell me they shed them plates, after a little while, them plates get heavy. Yeah. And you got to think, if you're thinking that you're going to get completely kitted out, and I know this is kind of diverting this conversation a little bit, but it's fine for you to build a kit with whatever you're putting in it. Whether you do go hardcore and you put plates in it, you put mags, loaded mags. And a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't really conceptualize how much weight 3 full magazines are on your chest. Yeah. You put 3 mags up here, maybe you have a secondary, you have a couple mags on your belt, and then you have plates. Now if you're cool and you got money like that, you can buy them cool ceramic plates that weigh like a quarter of the weight. But either way, that stuff gets heavy, and that's just going to be for your munition stuff. Yeah. That's not including your gear. That's not including your sleep system. That's not including food, any food prep stuff, trapping, if you know how to trap. Yep. None of that stuff. And I think people want to carry the kitchen sink. Yeah. And that's fine. That's all fine and good while you're in the AC of your home and you're building that bag. And what I would suggest, like you said, go not, even if you don't have to go out and go camping, just put the kit on, not battle rattle, but just a bag. Yeah. And just walk around your neighborhood. You can go to Google Earth and you can plot, a distance and walk it with your bag on and see how far you can go, because that'll give you a good, well, number one, it'll help you get in shape, and it'll also tell you what your endurance level is in case you do have to leave your house or you have to go to another location, which then presents a whole nother bag of problems because, like for me, I don't want to leave here where we're filming this right now. This is where I want to be because all my stuff is here. All my stuff is here. I have the familiarity with this area. And I've said this, I mentioned this real briefly on another video, but, and this is something that's kind of a little bit of a psychological kind of thing, is get on a bike. If you have a bicycle, get on a bicycle and ride, if you can, around your neighborhood or, out to your main street and go a mile, maybe just a mile or two on a bicycle. And you'd be amazed at how different everything looks. from a bicycle and not going 45 miles an hour on a car. I have heard stories of guys that do a lot of urban training and urban survival and more tactical oriented stuff. They'll say that people that live around where they are, not so much in an urban setting, because in an urban setting you're on foot anyway, but like out here in the burbs where I am, that you can actually get turned around and you can lose your bearings just by being on foot or a bike. Because you think about it, you're used to driving where you are going, in my case 50-55. So things are flying by. Well, suddenly when you're on them feet, you're seeing things so much slower, and it's easy to be like, where am I? I know it's weird. I know you think I'm speaking crazy and a bunch of flim flam, bunch of boulder dash, but it does actually.
If anybody thinks that you're wrong, they can look up inland SAR, because inland SAR is mostly about mentality and what you would do, even not realizing you're doing it. So, because it's inland SAR. So people at the Coast Guard, which rivers, there's one way to go for river. Right. But AFRCC does inland SAR, and that's what they teach. And they teach it's the mentality of the person. Right. And you're absolutely right. Moving slow, you can get turned around, and people, us humans, have that same thought capacity, even though we're not even realizing that we're doing it.
Right. So. Right. And that goes into a completely different arena for this topic. And I know we're going to get back on topic, but it is about mentality. Because really, in any type of situation, mentality is going to be the number one king. It's going to rule above everything else. No matter what training you have, for everybody that likes the dystopian stories and television shows, Max Brooks, who did World War Z, in the book, not the movie with Brad Pitt, but in the book, he wrote a situation where one of the main characters, or one of the intermediary characters, was, traversing, the landscape, and zombies everywhere, right? Came across an SUV that was off in the woods, and there was a guy in the SUV, had all this gear on, and had offed himself. The gear, the SUV was completely full. It's like the dude went to Cabela's or somewhere and just bought everything. It was completely, this whole SUV was loaded up. And the sort of what the character lamented in seeing that was the fact that, this person had everything to survive except for the will. And it doesn't matter what gear you have, how much training you do, if you don't have the willpower to execute it, then it's all for naught. And that's one of the things that I always kind of come back to, because I see so many people, like with prepping. And I said this in one of my prior videos to everybody watching, and I think it's a very valid point, and I'll let you hear it just to see what you think. But, preppers on the tube here, they're some of the most, I don't know if you want to say neurotic or just Debbie Downers, man. There's preppers that I watch, right? And they always got something for you to be scared of. Every video, they're connecting dots, man. They're putting the pieces together, and they got everything you should be scared of. And a lot of people fall victim to that. And to me, if you're going to turn into one of these preppers, or somebody that just wants to be prepared, shouldn't that kind of alleviate that fear? Because you're preparing for it. I could see somebody having that fear if you weren't prepared. But if you're going to actively prepare for something, that should be your hedge against that fear. So you shouldn't have it. At least that's the way I think, and I don't have it. Yeah, well,
that's that. I don't know. That's that mental thing. It's like I got a friend of mine. He's kind of a prepper, and he's pretty hardcore at it. He loves guns, and he does all that stuff. And he actually was doing security for a while, and he would always talk about it. It's like, this, that, and the others, security scenarios, and he's talking about it. Then he actually got shot at one day. He didn't get hit, and everything was fine, but it rattled him.
Yeah, that'll rattle you.
He no longer does security, and it was because I'm there. I can do all this. Until you're tested. Right. Which is why a lot of people don't like to be tested with a lot of things, or people don't test themselves. Yeah. Kind of like I said, I went and tried it, and I was like, okay. Yeah. Right. I've got to change. So, when he got tested, he crumbled, and he doesn't do it anymore because the reality kicked in.
And see, and that's really sad. And we're gonna get on some bag stuff here in just a second. But I will say
it's the after parties.
That is one of the big training actual things that I know the Marine Corps went through it in Vietnam, was training the guys when they took them to live fire ranges, because they had guys that when it came down to the need, they wouldn't pull the trigger. And that's one of the things that they try to get out of you, by putting you in those really high pressure, situations, because they don't want you to fold, which is why, a lot of people don't understand, when you go to basic training and you see the videos that you can watch on YouTube, of especially like the Marine Corps, the Army, and you'll see the guys screaming at people, and they'll be in their ear screaming at them over something like picking up something off the ground.
Lint on your uniform.
Yeah, or anything. And what people don't understand is it's not that they're berating you. It's what they're doing. They're trying to heighten your emotional level and your senses by screaming at you in your ear to see if they can get you to shut down. They want to tell you, hey, do this. Like, bend over here and pick that up. But they're going to scream in your ear. And what they want, the response is they want you to stay focused on what they told you to do. And they wanted you to be able to tune everything else out so that you can accomplish that task. Well, like you say, in a high-stress, high-stakes environment, which the zombie apocalypse, let's face it.
That's going to
be some high stakes. Because one thing they never showed in Walking Dead was none of them getting caught with their pants down. And I guarantee you, the first time I go to pinch a loaf behind a bush, that's when something's going to come try to chomp on my rear end. I guarantee it. That's going to happen. All right. So anyway.
Back on topic.
Back on topic. This
what do we have here?
This is a dry bag. Okay, since we're going to talk about bags, this is a pre-built. This is not something that I built. This is everything in here came from MyMedic. If you go to MyMedic's website, they still have this bag on their website. I don't know how much it is, but you looked at it and you actually gave a very, very valid criticism right off the jump. And you can go. I'll let you go ahead and levy that criticism.
Yeah. So it's not that it's not MyMedic. I'm going to go ahead and say this is almost every bag that I have ever seen. Yeah. You know what? Consequently enough, the only bag that I've seen that. This is what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get sidetracked. Yeah. These plastic clips, they're plastic, and what happens to plastic in the sun deteriorates, becomes weak, becomes brittle. Yeah. So the funny thing is the only bag that I have ever seen that doesn't have a plastic clip is a Coach bag. It actually has metal clips. Yeah. Everything's metal, and that's the only thing. I hope MyMedic's watching. Could y'all please, or if somebody on your subscribers know, where is there you can get just metal clips? You could probably change them out.
Yeah, and
I'm sure they sell them, but it would be better if you're touting this Medic bag to be the pimp of all things. Yeah. Why do you have a 2-cent clip?
Yeah.
But I mean,
and to be honest with you, I felt kind of bad when you pointed it out, because like literally he looks at the bag and says, man, the bags, I love dry bags, because obviously if you're going to have a dry bag is an awesome thing to have. And I like this particular dry bag because it does have shoulder straps. Yep. It does have the padding. It does have the breathable mesh. I love this bag.
And drain?
And it has a drain port. It has a drain port.
Just in case your dry's not dry anymore.
Right. Yeah, there you go. And I'm pretty sure, you could probably, take some cutters and cut these off, and you could theoretically fashion your own metal clip to it, so that wouldn't be that big of a deal. So, okay, outside of that, all right, I'm going to let you start digging into this, and you can give me your opinion on this particular stuff. Mm-hmm. And what I'll do, I'll put a link to MyMedic in the comment section down below if any of this stuff that we're going through here, because I told you, I love MyMedic. I'm in a simp for them. I love the company. I love the stuff. So
that'll keep you warm at night.
Yes. So, okay, everything in here is individually bagged. Now, I've got a video on my channel where I've already went through this bag, but it's been kind of a long time ago. But they give you a beanie, a wool beanie, okay, which is going to be something that you're probably going to need.
Multi-tool.
A multi-tool.
So you've obviously went through this before. What was the quality of that compared to
something like a Schrade or a Gerber or even a Leatherman? Something like that.
It really
It was. Well, here, I'll tell you what. I'll take it out and I'll let you look at it. How about that? Because this is the after hour. This is the party. This is the party. The party video. And it does have a carabiner that you can clip it to a belt or so you wouldn't lose it. Because here's the thing. If you're depending on items in a bag, the one thing you don't want to do is when you start, using the items, you don't want to lose them, Because inevitably, not saying this is a horror movie or anything, but, you're going to trip and fall and you don't want all the contents of the bag going everywhere, so... They said, to me, I'm not going to say they were of questionable quality, but
no, it feels like
they feel like they'd be all right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, too. You could always supplement. And see, this is where I hate getting into this area of supplementing bags. Because these bags they come pretty expensive. They're not cheap. I don't remember what this bag costs, but I know it's not like $50. It's going to get a little pricey.
I think the bag alone would be probably worth $50.
Yeah.
Well, space blankets.
But then again, if you were to make a kit like this, and you went out and bought top of the line every single item you're pulling out of this bag, you're gonna be into thousands.
Yeah.
Oh, easy. You're gonna be really, really high. So
well, what would you be doing to where, except for the zombie apocalypse, you wouldn't need this to go camping? Because if you're gonna, if just you and your wife, or if you and your wife and your daughter go camping, I can see your daughter carrying this.
Yeah. As
something you'd have the bulk of it.
Yeah.
Your wife would have some stuff too, but
you see that also goes into what kind of bag are you packing? Are you gonna pack a bag with medical needs above all else, of hydration, water filtration,
purification,
or some type of food item that doesn't need to be prepared, like throwing some MRE entrees, busting the MRE apart, grabbing the entrees, and just throwing a couple entrees in there, stuff like that,
Good old compass. Learn to use them.
Yes, and one of the things that I will say, everybody needs to learn basic land navigation.
Yes. With
a compass. It's not hard. You can there's all kinds of books, and actually there's really good YouTube. There's people that have done YouTube videos on land navigation that are actually really good.
After feeling this, when you showed me your other one,
yeah, I know.
Now it's just
I made the mistake. I showed him a really, really, really good compass that I have that goes in my bag, and this one's kind of a little plastic, which it'll get the job done, in a pinch. Mm-hmm. In the absence of nothing, something is better than nothing.
Yeah. All right, got a headlamp, glow sticks. So we got
headlamp, glow sticks,
means to see. We got some space blankets.
I'm very much a headlamp junkie.
Are you?
Yeah. I love my headlamps. I got to have good headlamps.
Okay, so what's your top pick? Lots of fire starters.
Well, it depends. I've got an LED lenser over there on that second shelf over there. I got like 10 headlamps over there.
See, this is one thing that you were kind of like you were talking about. Like, what are you preparing for? Like fire starter. Don't get me wrong; it's great.
Yeah.
But if you have the knowledge,
you
don't need fire starter.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I know it rains, and people can probably make that argument. But if you have the knowledge, you're probably not going to need fire starter.
Okay, I'm going to counter that. Where fire starter would be good? Think about this. Think about and this is something I've always maintained. If you are going to a bag like this, things are bad, and you're going to be under a lot of stress.
Sure.
So what's one thing that will help alleviate stress? That fire starter.
Oh, sure.
So I think the purpose, again, of a bag like this is to try to minimize
the amount of
pressure.
Stress.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because, you don't want to be out there and then, trying to do this, with some sticks, You're sitting there freezing and you're under pressure. You got people yelling at you and you're up here doing this, trying to get a fire started, and yeah.
Okay, I want to comment on that. Hopefully y'all understand that we've moved away from this.
Yeah.
It's the little bow with the string, and you can tighten it up, makes things so your hands will be
your hands are going
to be rubbed raw before. Oh, there we go.
Is that a life straw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know,
very awesome for water filtration.
Yeah, one of my hiking treks that I did take, I drank from numerous streams with these.
Yeah.
Just to check it out.
Yeah.
And I didn't get any dysentery, so that was a plus.
It's awesome. You didn't fall victim to the disease that killed everybody playing, what is it, Oregon Trail?
Yeah.
You died of dysentery.
What did you die from? Dysentery.
Dysentery.
Still the same thing.
It's always dysentery.
Man, this has got a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah, it's got a lot. That's one thing I liked about these. And each thing came in its own little individualized bag that has Ziploc, so you can zip them up. And they do have on the top, like this one has navigation, light source, fire.
Oh, nice.
This one has first aid, multi-tool. This one is what? What is this one? This is food and water.
Food and drink.
Yeah, food and water. You know about them, don't you?
Unfortunately.
Them SOS, them lifeboat rations.
Yep, they're
old apple cinnamon bars.
I'd like to somebody make a comment, because I'm gonna put him to it. If somebody makes a comment that y'all want to see Brad try this, I'll come back and try it with him. Just for y'all.
Okay,
it'll be a 5-minute video.
Okay,
somebody can make that comment, I'm coming back and we're going to try one of these and you're going to get an honest opinion.
Well, here, I'm going to tell you something. Really, some of them that I've actually tried the Daytrex Mayday bars, and it's pretty much the same thing. They're just lifeboat rations. But the apple and cinnamon, the only caveat to it, you need to have water there with you, because them things are hard to chew and they make your mouth dry.
What's that? It's like the cinnamon challenge people kept doing.
Oh man, that's rough. That's so rough. That's so rough. Okay, and you got this. Now these things are actually really neat. These Millennium Orange bars. They got a ton. I believe if I'm let me look before I start running my mouth, because I'm probably be wrong.
Something like that.
Let's see.
Man, this is.
Hey, these things are still in date, man.
11
of 25. So this bag is still good. And I've had this bag. I've had this bag for 2 years probably.
See, they got. Like I said, that's that thing. What's a gallon of water? 6 pounds?
No, a gallon of water I think is like, well, I think it's like 3 or 4 pounds or something like that.
I thought I looked the other day. So that's another thing. It's just water.
Yeah, carrying water. It's always better to be able to have something like that, like a life straw, so you can filter naturally occurring water that you'll find, because there's no way you're going to make it if you got to carry water. I mean, that's the whole reason why it's good to have dehydrated food. Even having that little amount of water that's in your food that you'll carry, extracted out. Because what is it? What's the old military saying, or the camping adage about ounces and grams turn into this, ounces turn into this.
Yep.
And it's like every little bit, over so many miles, man, it adds up real quick.
That's why I said. That's why I was shedding stuff.
Yeah, and this is clothes, shelter, and sun protection. And this is a little bivvy. Which is cool, because the one thing I used to have a mummy bivvy that had a I don't want to say it wasn't a rain fly, but it was like a mosquito net built into it, because down here there's no way you're sleeping. Well, I know some people that do, but the bugs down here get you. The bugs down here eat you alive.
Look at socks, first aid
multi-purpose sock.
Yeah,
you can use it for a mask. You can use it to filter stuff.
Backup gloves.
That's
any of you hunters out there will definitely know this last one.
You can wipe your butt with it.
Reusable toilet paper.
Yep. Wipe your butt with it. Go down to the stream. Wring it out a couple times.
You hadn't been hunting with these since I've handled. Okay, I just want to make sure.
No, I don't hunt. I don't hunt. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in the comment section, man. They can't believe I get all these boxes. Especially, I get a box called Hunt Vault. I don't hunt. Why I get a box called Hunt Vault? I don't know. I just like the stuff. And apparently somebody told me that my good Leupold binoculars. People in the comment section, they like.
Are they hateful?
No, they're not hateful. Well, some of them are, but they like bursting my bubble, man. They told me that Leupold set of binoculars up there said that they were made by Simmons. Like the lower end stuff is made by Simmons.
Aren't they?
I don't know. I hope not.
I think they are.
Oh, come on, man.
I think I'm not. Don't hold it to me. I think that sounds right. Man, but I didn't work in the hunting section at the Sportsman's Warehouse.
That breaks my heart, man. That breaks my heart.
Hey, Leupold still.
I got all excited, man. I got some Leupold binoculars. But it's okay, because I got the Vortex Crossfires, and actually I got another set of Vortex ones in my range bag that are really nice.
I do like Vortex.
Yeah.
So far this bag is really nice. I like it's got all kind of cool stuff in there.
So I mean, okay. Let me ask you this: you've seen everything that's in this bag, right?
Not yet. Still working. I'm saying there's.
Oh wait, what's still in there?
Oh, there we go. I thought there was something else in there.
Okay.
I got excited.
Okay, so now you tell me, with everything that's in this bag, what scenario would you imagine playing out that this bag is gonna be for? Like what?
You taking 2 days to get home.
Okay.
Because you
got shelter.
You've just got barely enough to do anything. Just enough food. I mean, because you got to have your energy up.
Well,
how
much
food,
are these?
Just
how many calories are these?
400.
These are 410 calories a bar. And what is there? 3? Is there 3 or 2?
3 or 4, something like that.
I don't know. I think there's 3. Okay, well 3. That's 1,200 calories. That's 1,200 calories. And you can do. But here's the problem: if you are trying to traverse, any type of distance with weight on your back, even if this bag is not that heavy. With the bag load, it's not that heavy. But here's the thing: it's not heavy now. 5 miles in the sun, this bag is getting heavy.
Yeah,
it's gonna get heavy.
Yeah, that's why I said.
And you're gonna be burning a lot of calories. So even at 1,200, you're gonna.
You don't have enough food.
You don't have enough.
You don't have enough food. You don't have enough water. Like I said, this is your 2-day get home.
Yeah, you're gonna get home and you're gonna be starving.
Yeah. Because these are the only things of food that you got.
But again,
can not be wet. You got a little bit of drink.
Yeah. Well, you got you got the energy bar too. I didn't look to see how much that was. How much is that?
400.
It's 400 calories?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
But you only got what do you?
Okay,
2,000
say let's be generous
and
and say we're at 2,000
calories. We got 16 right now.
And plus you're exerting yourself. Yeah. You're physically exerting yourself.
So the 2,000 is the rule of thumb for just to maintain.
Right.
So if you're already at less than what you're supposed to have, you're on the downslope already.
Yeah. So this is definitely a bag with intent and purpose.
Yes.
To get you from one point to the other, which, it's funny because I've had people comment that when they build their bags, they try to throw everything in the kitchen sink in it, and it's easy to do that. It's really easy, but like you even said, when you get out and you start humping that bag, that weight, it starts hurting you, and then you really start figuring, do I really need this? Do I really need that? And then somebody can find you. All I gotta do is follow the discarded gear behind you. It's like breadcrumbs. They'll be able to find you if you ever get lost or something. But,
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so I don't know. Like let's see, my bag. Where is it? What did I do with it? I don't know what I did with it. Oh, it's over here against the wall. But it's just a really big backpack. And now when I had that bad boy loaded up, she's heavy, and it didn't have any food in it.
And what's the longest you've trekked with it, though?
I haven't.
You said that's why, huh?
I haven't.
And there's no food in it?
There's no food in it. There's no food in it, but there is water purification stuff, but there's no food, which I could very easily throw some of the freeze-dried stuff in it.
Sure. Any means
and it wouldn't add a lot of weight.
Any means of trapping?
No. So, not unless I'm totally going to John Rambo it and take my pack knife and cover myself in mud and hide and wait for something to come by and then jump out and get it. Didn't
the first one you jump out of a tree with a knife on a stick?
Yeah.
So that was you got the pig.
Yeah.
I think you got the pig. You got the pig in the first movie.
Yeah. I don't know where any wild pigs. Well, I don't know. We do have a swamp, back there. There might be some pigs back there, some wild pigs. I doubt it. Too many cars and stuff, probably. There's deer out here though, but good luck on getting a deer barehanded. That's the thing, man. All these people that hunt, you ain't giving a deer no fair chance.
No.
Go out there like Lord of the Flies. Chase it down, man. Hang on to it and start biting it or something.
I got it.
That's when I get impressed. But yeah, bags like this, they're definitely better. To me, if you're gonna buy a pre-built kit, this is a good pre-built for something that's just pre-built.
Yeah.
Because you gotta think when you get into these companies that do these pre-built bags, you're putting the bag out there for general consumption of the entire consumer base.
Yeah.
So this bag is you're trying to make everybody happy with this bag.
And here's a point that I want to see. So you saw everything that we pulled out of here.
Yeah.
So we had it rolled up, but what I want to see is how much. So I'm not really pounding on it or whatever.
You can still add.
There's still plenty of room to at least get 2 good folds on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you still have room to put some other stuff in there. So I mean, the bag itself, it's really dope. I like it, and I like some of the stuff that's in it.
And you got a compartment here. You got a zipper compartment there. You can put some stuff. Not a lot, but.
Well, it's a zombie apocalypse. I need my phone there.
Yeah.
I always got to have my cell phone, right?
Well, the cell phone's only going until as long as the gas, as long as the natural gas generators to the cell towers it goes.
Here's it's another thing I don't like. How big's your water bottle you take with you at work?
Yeah, I know. The water bottle's not going to go in there.
Yeah. And I got a bag that I use for my daily work bag. Yeah. And it's the same way. Once I put stuff in it, I can't get
if you carry something like this, you're not getting that in there.
No,
it's not gonna fly.
And it would be just something as easy as
making that wider or something. Yeah, yeah.
So I mean that would that would fold it over,
just giving you more elastic, just a little bit more elastic.
And then just cinch pull it.
But I don't know. Maybe they're I don't know what they're thinking about. But here's the thing: the idea of a dry bag versus a conventional, heavy duty rugged backpack. Where do you land on that?
Ooh.
If you had
which one I would prefer?
Yeah, if you had a really good big backpack that I'm talking about had like the self-sealing zippers and had some kind of waterproofed, or even I think I even got some stuff. Yeah, I got some stuff right here. This stuff from Gear Aid. It says instant water repellent. This kind of spray you can just soak something down with it. To help it bead water and not absorb water.
Have you tried that?
No.
Because I'd be curious how well.
Well, I've tried this. I've sprayed this on some shoes before.
Have you? So my thing would be this. This holds air pretty good.
Yeah.
So if you had to cross a river,
it would have buoyancy in case you lost it. Yeah. But then again,
or help you get across, because I mean you got to remember you're swimming across a moving river.
I don't know how much that would help you stay buoyant.
So on our trek that we did in Georgia that I was telling you about earlier. The river was running a little bit, so it was higher than we expected. Yeah. So we literally had to walk across the river, carrying all of our stuff.
No, that's too much.
And there was 3 of us, and they had their 2 dogs.
No.
And we all had to walk across carrying. And we had to make everybody across once, and then me and my buddy back across, and then back across again.
That's rough. Yeah, that right there. That's trying on your system, man. That's too much. But yeah, anyway. So the whole point of this was, the bags definitely have their place. And for me, my bag is going to go in and out of the vehicle with me. In the morning, it's going to go in the vehicle. In the evening, it's going to come out. And one of the problems that I have with putting stuff in the bag that I have to be conscious of is the fluctuation in temperature.
Sure.
Especially if I put any edibles in it. Because it's going to be in the car. So it's going to, down here, especially this summer, I think this was one of the hottest summers that we've ever had down here. And it was hot. It's hot out there, especially in a car. You think if you take your bag and you put it in your car, because obviously, your bag is going to have a lot of expensive gear in it, so you don't want to take it in somewhere where maybe somebody would get it or, something like that. But
leave it in the car and have the cheap Compass melt. You left it in there long enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and so there's so many factors that go into all this. That's why I think that this video series that I'm going to do, it's got to be a series, because there's no way. Like even this video, just us shooting the breeze, this video's probably went on way too long. So if you guys are still here,
thank you.
You guys are MVPs, man. But sound off in the comment section. What if you have a bag like this? What is your purpose for the bag? Is it like what would now actually your situation is different, because your distance from home to work is pretty substantial. How far is it mile wise?
I think it's 45
miles.
Something like that.
Dog. Okay, I work what is it? It takes me less than 10 minutes in car going 35 40 miles an hour.
It takes me 45 minutes.
But I could cut through. There's some woods I could cut through, so I could get home in what, conservatively 2 hours.
By foot.
Yeah. By foot if I had to. Like say well, I don't know. Say there's an EMP. All the electronics is fried, so you ain't going nowhere in a car. Well, yeah, I could get home, no problem. Yeah. But you would have more of a strenuous time getting home.
And then that's leaving New Orleans, y'all. So that's where I work at. It's downtown New Orleans. Yeah. So everybody knows New Orleans now. Yeah. Now, if they didn't before, but
yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely be.
So you're going to have to deal with the mass of urban congestion, which is another thing to take into consideration. You know, are you in the suburbs? Do you work in the suburbs? Do you commute in the suburbs, or are you in some highly dense metropolitan area, like he is? He's going to be in New Orleans, and that's going to be chaos.
Yeah.
You know, all the people that are inside are now going to be outside, and there's going to be a lot of things to negotiate there to get out and to get to where you need to be. So let me know in the comment section down below, you know, what's your situation? Or do you have a bag, and what purpose does your bag serve? And, you know, did any of this make any sense? You know, any of the stuff that we've been rambling about, did any of it make any sense?
I don't know. It's the after party, so maybe not.
Maybe not. But I think it's interesting. I think it's a very interesting thought experiment that people can turn into reality, because anybody that builds their own kit, you're going to be better served. To me, no matter what the kit looks like, you're going to be better served building your own kit, because you are going to know what you're putting in it, but more importantly, you put it in there so you already have a scenario that you've already played out in your mind for the reason why I'm carrying this particular piece of gear. So to me, the bag serves you better if you build it, and also, you know, you're building it for what you perceive as your immediate needs, not some company that has just thrown all these, you know, tried to hit all the highlights, because that's really what these bags do. They try to hit the medical side, they try to hit the shelter side, maybe the water, the food side, you know, maybe fire starting or whatever. Because even for me and my bag, you know, my pack knife, has built into the sheath, it has a whistle, it has a ferro rod, it has a sharpener. I think that might be it, but still, with just my one pack knife, I can signal, or I can, you know, signal if I'm in distress, and I can also create fire. So technically, you know, this depends on how minimalist you really want to go. I mean, do you want to say, hey, I want to carry as little stuff as possible? Because here's the thing: the more you weigh that pack down, it slows you down. So you also got to see, that's a whole nother thing you got to think about. Yeah. If the pack weighs more, it's going to slow you down. It's going to create a hindrance from you getting to your destination quicker.
Here's one thing I'd also say: inventory. I think I might have mentioned this to you earlier, but I like the little write anywhere pads.
Yes. Yeah.
Write down what you have, put it on something like that, just like even this bag, like our little pocket that we were just talking about. You can inventory it, throw all your stuff down, and your time and things may change. Inventory it once a year.
Yeah.
Because what you're dealing with today, this year, might be different the same day next year. So if you inventory it once a year, hey, I don't need this. I do need to supplement that. So now you've got that dynamic to where I'm always keeping up with the changing times and how my life changes and my surroundings change. So that would be something to do.
And also, that's a very good point, because it also, the bag needs to evolve with whatever skill sets that you have. Because, you know, throughout a year, maybe you took some classes, maybe you did some outdoor training or something that maybe did change your skill set within a, you know, certain parameter of a need that your bag fulfills. That, well, hey, you know, I can revisit, you know, my fire making stuff, you know, or you know, my trapping stuff, or even your sleep system. You know, you can constantly refine, you know, what you are carrying, what your need is. And that's why it's so important for people to get out and use their stuff. And I guess really that's the theme that this video needs to wrap up on, is if you have this type of gear, you need to get out and use it. Because one thing that is going to serve you the absolute 100% best in building a bag is going to the bag with the familiarity of the products that you have in it.
Yep.
Because you don't want to be trying to figure out how to tie your knots.
Don't want to be caught with your pants down.
You don't want to be caught with your pants down. No, that's bad. That's a bad rap, man. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. That's the thing, man. That I guarantee you, if that Walking Dead show would have been based, you know, would have been loosely based in real life. Okay, I know the zombies ain't real, but if you were to base it on real life scenarios and situations and circumstances, it wouldn't have made as many seasons as it did.
No,
I'm you know, absolutely convinced.
Well, wasn't your dad in the? Your dad went in Vietnam, was he?
Yeah.
Is it wasn't he the one that was telling us before that you never went to go to the head in the jungle alone?
Yeah, no.
You never went by yourself.
No.
I think he was the one that was telling us about that before, because they were always waiting to get you.
Yeah.
So you go do your business, and I watch your back, and now we swap up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all.
Boy, let me tell you something. All I know is in a scary situation, whether it's a war situation or zombies or I don't know whatever else. Boy, talk about that. Them the quickest poops you ever gonna take. I can almost take them poops on the go. I just hold it down a little bit, and I'll be strafing to the side, getting it, you know. I ain't gonna stop moving.
I'm gonna go ahead and save your viewers. I think that's the note that we need to cut the video.
I tell you what, man, it's rough. It's rough out here. It's rough out here in these post-apocalyptic streets.
Yes, it is. We need to get some more tipsy on here. So,
all right, guys, that's it. Hey, if you hung out with us, man, I greatly appreciate it. And hit the comment section down below. And I would like to know, because you guys always have really different perspectives and different insights, and you know, just you know how you guys are doing things. So hit the comment section and let me know what kind of bag you guys rock with. If you built your own, if you did with the pre-built route, I'm not going to judge you, because I got pre-built bags. You know, I just think that it's just an option. You know, it's just a different option. So anyway, see you in the comment section down below, and thank you for hanging out, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.